Good morning. I am taking a pretty spontaneous road trip. I knew I wanted to go somewhere with my 3-day weekend that I have just because I worked last weekend, so I get to take a longer weekend this weekend. But I didn't know where I was going to go until like 6 o'clock this morning, and I didn't even pack until this morning, so we'll hope for the best. But I'm going to go on a road trip up the Mississippi to the national park sites of Missouri. Very oddly specific, I know, but that's what we're gonna do. Come join me. Does anyone else pack in just like odd containers? Like this is actually just matcha, but I put it in a salsa container, so every time I see it I still think, oh, I'm drinking green salsa, even though I know I'm not. I am almost in Missouri, I think. I just have to cross this upcoming bridge that will take me over the Mississippi River, and then I'll be in Missouri, question mark? I don't know. I think I'm in Tennessee still. I actually don't know where this bridge is. Let's see what it's called. I don't see the name. What is it called? It is... Okay, it just says it's the Mississippi River, so pretty sure that does mean we are going into Missouri indeed, because we're too far north to be in Arkansas, going into Arkansas. One of my first ideas for this trip was to go to Silver Dollar City again, which is also in Missouri, so it's kind of funny that I'm still ending up going into Missouri. But I did go to Silver Dollar City for my birthday. I didn't film that one because it was kind of a repeat of the trip I had taken previously to the Branson and Silver Dollar City, so it wasn't too much unique to record. But now we are going over the Mississippi. We've been kind of following it this entire time, even though this is my first time seeing it today. And we're out of Missouri, or we're in Missouri, out of Tennessee, so welcome to Missouri. I wasn't sure if we were going to go through part of Kentucky today or not, but I guess not, unless it takes me back over the river at some point. But anyways, we're about to come up to the Missouri sign, and here we are. I wonder if my GPS will tell me welcome to Missouri. GPS did not welcome me to Missouri, I guess because it's not that welcoming of a state. I don't know. And I made it to Missouri. I'm just at the Welcome Center right now for a bathroom break, maybe get some information, and then we'll keep moving. I got some information and it's time to move on. I just made it to my first stop. Noticed the raindrops. Yeah, it was even worse on the drive here. But I did want to go somewhere where it wasn't too hot, so mission accomplished, I guess. Now, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I am coming off of a cold, so I'm going to take some medicine. I usually do homeopathic remedies, but I definitely wanted to get out of town this weekend, away from work, and making sure I wasn't miserable during that time, so this is helping me get through the day. And yeah, I'm thankful that it exists, but yeah, I am pretty much over it. I'm just a few little symptoms that are still nagging at me. This is St. Genevieve National Historic Park. I didn't know it existed until this morning, but it's like a whole town that has national park sites within it. And it's right on the Missouri River, or the Mississippi River in Missouri. Stamp in the orange section of my book. Well, the visitor center is pretty nice. I'm going to spend a little time walking around the town to, get a full feel of the historic area. I'm going to grab my picnic lunch from my car and then find a place to eat it as I explore the town. How cute! No table space for picnicking, but this might be an option. I'm gonna go inside the house first. So this used to be the town leader's house. And by the way, this is the oldest town, or at least the oldest European settlement on this side of the Mississippi. So pretty cool and historic. I didn't realize till I got up to this house that there's a picnic area over at the visitor center where I started. I might go back there. But first, let's explore the garden, because there's more back here. So that house over there is probably the slaves' quarters. They were saying in the visitor center with that diorama they showed the difference between the main house and how most of the houses also had the slaves' house, or more than one slave house. So, of course, dark, historic time, but I'm glad they're preserving it so we can still learn from it. I'm glad I explored the garden first, because there's an even better picnic spot over here. So the building's not open. I guess it's only open in the morning, but I was told I could come up here and look through the window and stuff. Walk the grounds. Looks like, you know, typical historic house of all the historic house tours I've been on. Except those chairs at that table don't look very historic to me. Now that stone house across the street looks gorgeous. But I gotta focus. Gotta eat lunch first. It's already late for lunch. Off to the picnic area. Okay, I've got to show you this because it's the worst drinking fountain ever. Watch. And it sprays everywhere. It's more of a sprinkler than a drinking fountain. So for lunch I've got leftover pasta, carrots. I'm looking at the map to figure out where I want to go next, and I'm letting my glasses dry from that drinking fountain. This is the county courthouse. And of course, the Catholic churches always win for style in their architecture. Well, this is fun. I wish I brought some of my painted rocks so I could share with these. I do like Romans 12:12. These are all so fun. I don't know which one to take. I like Joshua 1:9 as well. Oh, so many choices. So this is the oldest parish west of the Mississippi. Just like this is the oldest town west of the Mississippi. Alright, I heard this art center was free, so let's check it out. Hello! Good, how are you? Well, that was kind of a neat art museum. It had a special display for Fred Conway's. It's only a temporary exhibit, so if you ever go here, you'll probably see a completely different exhibit. But that one did give me some insight because he did do a lot of paintings of St. Louis, which is my next stop. First, I gotta look at these outdoor sculptures. I'm walking back to my car on a different road so I can see a little bit more of the area and the art and the architecture. It's Kind of just excited because that's another forester from California. Well, let's go check out that mural. Banana pudding and a homemade waffle cone. Alright, I made it back to my car. Now time to head to the next destination. So I guess you can say, meet me in St. Louis, Louis. And welcome to St. Louis. I'm actually in Illinois right now, but as you can see, you just have to walk across this bridge and I can get to downtown. Let's go check in. I am staying at a casino. So, super fancy, I know. Let's take a tour of my room. There is a bathroom, of course. Why would you stay in a hotel that doesn't have a bathroom? Pretty standard. All right. Pretty big room. It is interesting living in a trailer that like hotel rooms are bigger than my actual home, but this one is a casino view. I could have gotten an arch view, but I didn't want to pay the extra money, and this is still a decent view. Can't see my car though, but it's on the other side of that area. Of course, AC, that's really important in the middle of summer. Oh, and I don't think I showed you guys this, but I won this from eating all those tacos in Bryan. I don't know if you remember the taco trail, but yeah, I got that denim bag, and it is huge, so I used this instead of a suitcase for this trip. I was told there was no microwave, but thankfully there are fridges, so I can put my food in here. I'm actually also gonna go grocery shopping before I head home because sales tax in Tennessee is ridiculously high, even for groceries, so I'm going to stock up in Illinois or another state before I head back to the very expensive Tennessee. Now, let's go to St. Louis. Now, getting across the Mississippi from here is confusing because Google Maps will not allow me to cross this bridge when in pedestrian mode, but it will allow me to pass when in bike mode. And I did see a pedestrian walking in, I guess, what is the bike lane, so there's no problem doing that. Just a matter of where to enter. Like, there's a staircase over there.
Welcome to Illinois.
Yes, I'm in Illinois. Thank you, phone. But Google Maps for the bicycle mode has me going all the way over there and making this whole loop to get up there. But are those stairs available? I'm guessing not, because it looks like, I don't know. It's confusing. Let's go check it out. So I go through this gate, we're on this road here. St. Louis is that way. And the stairs I saw were over here, I think. Or were they on the other side of the gate? No, I'm confused. So I have to be on the other side of the gate because there's a fence. Let's see if it works. And this seems to be a well-established biking and pedestrian path. And it says, that blue sign over there says it takes you to the metro, which the metro is up there in its own part of the bridge. Alright, we'll see if this works or if this only takes me to the metro station. I'll kind of regret it if I took the stairs and I can't even cross the bridge from here. But I'll treat myself to an elevator ride down, how about that? And I can enjoy the views along the way. I mean, look at this. How often do you get to see the St. Louis Arch? So I was a little disappointed at first because I saw this, but then I saw this over here. I'm good. I get to walk across the bridge from here. There's a nice view of the casino. So the hotel is actually that building. It's separate from the casino. I thought they'd be the same building, but apparently not. Alright, walking across the bridge. And I guess this bridge has some historic significance too. And later on we'll probably look at the underbelly of it because this is like a engineering marvel for its time, I guess you can say. I hope there is some sign on the walkway that shows when I've entered back into Missouri. I mean, I know I've only been in Illinois for a couple minutes, but I do like going on these walkways that are straddling states or countries. I've done it. If you've seen my last video of Memphis and Arkansas, it was several videos ago actually, but that one I walked across the bridge between Memphis, Tennessee and West Memphis, Arkansas. Got to stop and have a little photo shoot at the halfway point over the river. That was actually the same river as this, the Mississippi. I'm just a little bit further north now. But I've also done that with other states and even other countries. Another video I have is when I was in El Paso, I walked across the bridge that took me between the United States and Mexico. I've done it in countries overseas as well. I've also done it between Canada and the United States and Niagara Falls years ago. So it's a lot of fun to just be straddling, two places at once, as they say in A Walk to Remember. And this definitely is a walk to remember. I think this might be the midway point. Let's see. There is no sign anywhere. Okay, maybe it's not the midpoint? I don't know. We'll check the next area. Here we go. This post right here is on 2 different states. So I am standing on 2 different states right now. Illinois and Missouri. I also just realized that for driving, there's no state welcome sign. There has been on every other bridge I've ever crossed on the Mississippi. So what's up with that? Come on, Missouri, Illinois, St. Louis, step it up. So I did live in Missouri back in 2020. I loved it so much that I couldn't stand more than 4 months of living here, so I moved as soon as I could. It was also closer to Kansas City. It basically was Kansas City, so I never made it all the way out to the other side of the state to see St. Louis, so I'm glad I'm finally getting to see this. The sad thing is, after I moved away from Missouri, I recommended 2 other people to move to the same exact location I was living and working so they could get a job there. I don't know, I didn't hate either one of them. I wanted the best for them, but so why did I recommend that? I don't know. It could be a good opportunity for some people. No shame to you if you are in Missouri. We have now crossed the Mississippi all the way on foot. So now we are in the country's smallest national park. And yes, it is a national park, not just a national park site. So this will be kind of fun to explore an entire national park in the middle of a huge city. There's even a train track that goes underneath the park. And I think we'll see more of the city as well, not just the national park. And now I'm in Gateway Arch National Park. Do not trust Google Maps. It is a lot shorter than it says it is if you're staying at that casino over there. Yeah, I almost did not book the casino hotel because of the way Google Maps was planning out the walking route. It's not even accurate with the biking route, so just ignore it. Hopefully Google updates this soon, because I am posting this on YouTube, which is owned by Google, so Google AI, you're kind of useless, but be useful for this at least. So I was wondering how the rides to the top work, but if you look way up there, there are those tiny little slats right there. I guess those are windows people look out of. I thought this park seemed kind of unpopulated for a summer Friday, but here's all the people. So there's the arch, but I guess you have to go down to this area to the visitor center. The only other time I've gone through security for a national park site is in DC. Oh wow. All the rivers. The whole country. I think I'll have to go to those tomorrow. So right here is where St. Louis became a part of the United States in 1804. I had no idea it was this expansive a museum. It's almost like a Smithsonian. The museum's timeline starts in 1764. Do I dare try? Okay. Interesting. Okay, this is a cool feature, but is speeded a word? Okay, this is what's inside the arch. Let's crank it. Okay, and that's what it looks like on the inside. Huh. Can you imagine if it was one of these instead of the arch we ended up with? I think we'll be filling up this page in just one day. Trams feel like an entire metro station. Like there's that one, there's one on the other side. Alright, it was fun underneath, but let's go back out to the open. And this is the arch. Wow. I'm going to touch the Gateway Arch. Woohoo! So over there in the neon is my hotel, the casino. And here's the arch. I am literally right here. It's kind of amazing. There's that cool pedestrian and bike path down there. I'm already regretting how short of a time I'm spending here. I thought I'd have too little to do, but it seems like there's too much to do in just one extended weekend. Well, it's raining. I am not under the arch, but I don't think it'd provide much rain protection anyways. I'm gonna see if the courthouse is still open. It is getting kind of late. I was planning to have late dinner anyway since I had a late lunch, and I just haven't been hungry on schedule ever since I got sick. So yeah, I'm gonna see if the courthouse is still open and we'll go from there. That would be a good thing to do while it's raining outside. The courthouse is right up there and it's actually part of the national park. I think it is already closed for the day, but we'll walk around it and then I'll tell you my dinner plans. Tell that it's humid by how frizzy my hair is getting, but It is closed. I am going to not go back there straight away, but I'm going to definitely spend some more time there. I did spend about 2 hours in the museum, I think, a little less, but I think 2 hours would be a good time to budget your time if you're coming here and following what I'm doing. But now I would like to go out to dinner. Now, I've had Chicago-style pizza in Chicago. I've had New York-style pizza in New York. I think it's about time that I have St. Louis-style pizza in St. Louis, because I've never had St. Louis-style pizza anywhere before. So we'll see what that's like. I'm gonna head in this direction to a chain, a local chain called, I don't know if it's Emos or Imos. It's spelled I-M-O-S. So we'll hopefully figure out the pronunciation when we get there. Oh, but I didn't realize there was a Carmine's. I had Carmine's on my last trip to DC last year. It was amazing. Okay, gotta stay focused, stay focused. And I get to walk right by the Cardinals Stadium. That's pretty cool. So parking at the stadium parking lot was $13.99 for up to 10 hours. Over here it's $20. And I'm guessing garages that were closer to the arch were even more expensive. So I saved a lot of money by walking here. And yes, parking at the casino is completely free. I believe it's in this building here. Let's see. That one isn't labeled. Oh, it's this one. I see the sign. All right, let's see what they have. So I was tempted to try the Crunchy Mo's, but the pizzas were about the same price, so I figured might as well go traditional and get the pizza. I was also tempted to get that toasted ravioli that they're showing right now, because that's also St. Louis specialty, but I've had toasted ravioli before. So it's a crisper crust and it's a special type of cheese. Another specialty they have here is the gooey butter cake. That is a St. Louis specialty, not necessarily this restaurant, so I'll see. Maybe I'll get it here, maybe I'll get it somewhere else, maybe tomorrow. I'll see how I feel after I eat the pizza. So cutting it into squares is part of the St. Louis charm. I like it. Definitely different cheese, but it goes well with the flavors of the sauce and the crust. Okay, I also got the gooey butter cake. I'm gonna take a bite of it here and then take the rest back. I think I've had gooey butter cake before. It's good. Honestly, I might stop and have a picnic with the rest of this in the national park. I just wanted to make sure I was on my way before it got dark. So this bike/pedestrian path will eventually get me back to the arch, which will get me back to the bridge, which will get me back to the casino. But this portion is called the Mural Mile. So I'll get to enjoy a little bit of art on our way back. Looks like a river cruise is docked here. And this parking's $11, which is the cheapest I've seen so far. So I saved $11 by staying at the casino and walking here. But the casino is also the cheapest hotel within walking distance, and I think being able to walk to all the things you want to see just kind of helps with the getting the full experience. So, and I looked even further away, just other St. Louis hotels that weren't within walking distance of the big attractions, and they were only a little bit cheaper, but they severely dropped in quality. So I think I got the best deal there was. I am back at the park. Let's find a nice place to sit and eat the rest of this stuff. On my first trip to Europe, I came up with this idea that I don't really date people, I date iconic architecture. And that's still true. Don't worry, I'm staying hydrated too. kind of just looks like a pretty normal obelisk from this angle. Probably why nobody ever photographs from this angle. Let's check out what Laclede's Landing is. I guess that's Laclede's Landing. Little place to look over the river. Let's look over it because it'll be a good view of the hotel and the bridge. Well, it's dedicated to William Clark of Lewis and Clark. But there is the bridge, so the metro line goes under the pedestrian and car road, which is kind of cool. But the reason that this bridge is iconic, which it is called Eads Bridge if you ever want to look it up, EADS, is this structure right here. So it's one of the first of its kind, the steel structure, which I think is pretty neat. Spans all the way across the Mississippi and then leads to Illinois. And I think it's time to call it a day and head over the bridge myself. We'll see this again tomorrow. I'm trying to decide if I want to go to the pool or the casino when I get back. I don't really gamble, but I do swim, but not in pools. I've got a lake at my house, so yeah. Google does not know about this shortcut, so take it from me. Just take these stairs that are next to the street, next to the river, and you can get to Queen's Casino pretty easy. And it's even lit up at night. Well, I guess the pool's not an option. There's the fitness center. Let's check this out. Not bad, not bad. I used to use stationary bicycles while like playing games on my phone or reading books. I got a lot done without even noticing. The pool looks nice. There isn't a hot tub though. I do prefer hot tubs over pools, unless they're super foamy, because that's just gross. Okay, there, I'm exercising, as if the 20,000 steps through 3 states didn't count today. But that is kind of cool. I woke up in Tennessee, spent most of my day in Missouri, and I'm gonna fall asleep in Illinois. Let's go look at the casino. I told myself I'm just looking, but I do have my wallet with me, so I don't know what that tells you. Okay, I didn't do anything. I'm gonna go back to my room though, because I am starting to get tired and it's getting late and my medicine that I took this afternoon's wearing off, so time to take the nighttime med, get a really good night's sleep, and hit the ground running tomorrow.